Jealous.
Hi, everyone. Hopefully, you can hear me all right. And welcome to another wonderful Facebook Live where I am going to be helping you understand why you hate your job. I know sometimes I must admit, as a kick ass career coach, as a soul lifter, as a soul healer, I sometimes get a little bit to the quick, if you will. A little bit in there. And please tell me if you're here live and where you are watching me from. If you're picking this up on a recording, please feel free to comment below and let me know what you think. Let me know about what you think about 3 reasons why you hate your job. I had the opportunity yesterday actually to meet a woman I haven't seen in 7 years. And I was really, really happy to see her. She was someone who I've hired twice. I know. I had a real distinct pleasure of hiring this woman twice. And I had a lot of fun yesterday congratulating her for being retired. And it's really a lot of fun to see someone really hit the high notes of their career and move from being, well, she lost her job before she and I got to know each other 12, 13 years ago. And she moved from feeling defeated and wondering if she was ever going to have a great career and whether she was going to be able to really pick herself up. At the time, her son was in college, and now he's a thriving Army professional with a beautiful wife and new son. And the ways that we enjoy life can get reflected to the negative if we hate our job. Imagine, and maybe this is you. Please let me know if it is, and I'd be happy to comment and maybe give you some coaching online. If you hate your job, there are 3 reasons why that is, and I'm going to talk to you about how to solve it. If you're a professional woman who has basically been working hard all of her life and is not where she wants to be, or you're watching others get ahead, or perhaps you're just sort of pissed off about these 3 things. Number one reason why people hate their jobs is because they misunderstand their role. I know it sounds sort of basic, but often when we hate our job, it is because we do not really understand our role. Maybe we were handed lots of projects along the way, and all of a sudden, we're in this expanded role, and we didn't set boundaries. Complementary career clarity calls over the years I've been doing this work. And over 1,000 women have chosen to do the work and to dive in and to really get to the root of why they were confused about their role. Sometimes the women we work with are confused about their role after they lose their job. And they realize that they were sort of looking in the dark to see what they were supposed to do, or they took on too much. If you are guilty of taking on too much or taking on other roles or patching things up when other people aren't stepping in, please comment and let me know if you're an overdoer and you hope they'll notice your hard work and promote you. So the first reason women hate their job is because they don't understand their role. The second reason, you misunderstand your boss. Yeah. Misunderstanding your boss is a career killer. A career killer. And if you're feeling like you're misunderstanding your role, misunderstanding your boss, please book a complimentary career clarity call. Let us sort it out with you and for you at mofall.com/live clarity. If you're currently a client or you're a grad, please let me know how we helped you clarify your role, probably helped you get a new role that was more easily defined and you weren't playing catch up with trying to prove your worth. Or if you've realized how to understand your boss better. In one of my advanced workshops, the Kick-Ass Leadership Academy, I work with my clients on helping really understand how to connect deeply with their boss. Sometimes when you hate your job and you misunderstand your boss, you are communicating to your boss in the way that works for you. Or you're not communicating to your boss because the way that works for you doesn't work for him or her. And if you're communicating to your boss in a way that doesn't work for your boss, you're eventually going to hate your job. And you're really not going to like working with your boss. And you're going to resist and hold back. And therefore, your performance will suffer. You know what happens right after that? Your soul suffers. One of the reasons why I'm talking today about the 3 reasons why you hate your job is because all of these are fixable. They're all fixable. Misunderstanding your role, number 1. Misunderstanding your boss, number 2. And the third one, oh, this one's rich. Are you ready for the third reason why you hate your job? The third reason is because you misunderstand you. Yep. You're probably functioning not necessarily with your ears or with your eyes, but you're probably functioning with a hidden set of programs that are running the show. And you're making decisions and taking action and acting in ways that you've acted for decades. And really what's happening is it's not being effective anymore. Most of the women we work with are mid-career, around 45 to 60, and have either hit the stride way back when and lost it somewhere along the line, or they lost it recently and thought they were cruising along. One of the most interesting, it seems like a positive in a career, but it's really quite a negative. Women who say to me on their complimentary career clarity call, I never had to interview for a job. I've always just gotten roles. So if someone handed you a role, would you even know if that was a career move that was right for you? You probably wouldn't know because you don't understand yourself at a deep enough level. Not only the operating system that you're operating from as a self, but also where you're going and what you're capable of and what you want to do. When you misunderstand yourself, it is a high likelihood that you're going to hate your job. And you're not going to quite be able to put your finger on it. And you're going to blame other people. That's what happens. Comment below if you have had an episode of misunderstanding your role, misunderstanding your boss, or misunderstanding yourself, and that turned into hating your job. How did you get caught up in all of that? Let me know in the comments. The other thing I want to talk about on this hating your job aspect of misunderstanding your boss, misunderstanding your role, and misunderstanding you is that it's hard, almost impossible to see where you are responsible for. You see, if we're misunderstanding our role, if we're misunderstanding our boss, if we're misunderstanding ourselves, you know what we're doing? Blaming others. Yeah. And I see one commenter, all 3 for me. That's a very common situation that you misunderstand all 3 and you hate your job. And yet at the very core, you're truly not taking responsibility because our brain wants to flip into blame. The blame brain. When we're confused about what's going on, we're going to go into a fear mode. One of the fear modes is blame. Now, when you're blaming others, there is no darn way that you're going to be able to fix the problem. When you're busy blaming others, you're putting the problem on them and you're expecting them to fix it. And you're going to get so frustrated that you're going to act in ways that are self-sabotaging. You're going to act in ways that aren't truly the sole essence of you, but they are the fear version of you that you're operating in. Yes, and one of our commenters said, this is all true. I would put misunderstanding myself, which led to misunderstanding my boss and my role. Absolutely. We don't always know which one comes first, do we? Sometimes we may get sideways with a boss, and then we begin doubting ourselves at such a deep level that we start misunderstanding ourselves, and we stop understanding what not only we are about, but what we want. And then we don't communicate it because we don't know how, because we're so confused and overwhelmed by self-doubt that we don't know how to communicate properly. Communicating your worth and your wants properly is one of the big assets to working with us. Most professional women have not been taught that, have not been conditioned that, have not been trained, guided, or coached to stepping in not only to their self-knowledge, but also how to communicate about the role and to the boss once they have the self-knowledge. And you're not going to find this in a book. You're not going to find the nitty-gritty of what you need to do for you to take responsibility for hating your job and fixing it. You're not going to be able to find it in a book. These are things that take very tactical, strategic issues that are personalized for you, but only after you uncover your soul and you begin being a soul version of you. The only way you can get out of the trap of misunderstanding boss, role, and yourself is by bringing your soul to life. And I'm so glad your program definitely has helped me to, let me just put this up here, to give definition and clarity to me to help work my way out of my mindset. You know, this is the truth about getting out of toxic mindsets or out of your way. You're going to be tricked. You're going to be tricked into thinking it's someone else's problem for you to solve. Oh no, this is me. I've had a series of toxic bosses jobs, and I know it's something I'm doing that gets me into them. I now feel trapped with no prospects and a few failed interviews. Book your complimentary clarity call. You who just commented on that. I can't see your name while I'm here behind the controls here. mofall.com/live clarity. Book a complimentary clarity call so we can sort it out. And you know what? We'd love to work with you to fix this. It doesn't fit for everyone, and that's no problem. If we know we can help you, we're going to advocate the heck out of you to help you solve this problem. And you know what? I want to make a comment here for this wonderful Facebook commenter. And thanks for sharing your comments and your thoughts. I really appreciate it because it helps me really know, first of all, is my message landing home? And secondly, what a problem this is for people. So here's the thing. When you are in a rut, when you're in a toxic job, you want to run like hell and you're not interviewing properly, all of that self-doubt has accumulated in sort of like a crust around your soul, and you can't possibly advocate for yourself in an interview. What about when the person is looking for and determined to do some role? One can't understand the boss, and two, the employer workplace being toxic already. There are others. Research show that there are other coaches who support other reasons. Research shows there are other coaches who support others' reasons. Bad bosses, toxic environment, and bad economies. First of all, bad economy, take that off the list. There's no such thing. There's only someone who can't fit into the current economy. So bad economy is a non-thing. Especially right now, our economy is not bad. Even during the big bolus of COVID last year, we're still not out of the woods, but it has changed the entire landscape. The economy isn't bad. It's shifting. And if you're not shifting and growing, you're going to miss it. And you're going to, again, blame the economy. You're going to blame bad bosses. You're going to blame a toxic environment. You know why you have a bad boss? So you can learn how to navigate better. You know why you're in a toxic environment? Because you don't feel awesome about yourself. These are the only reasons why we have these situations in our life. And so what I'm here to tell you, ladies, because I've been through it myself, and I've coached thousands of women through the same thing. And Evilise, I don't know if that's the right way to say your name. I don't want you to analyze yourself because that's brain. That's more fear. That's more self-doubt. I want you to get to know yourself. Get to know yourself. And once you get to know yourself and you take responsibility for the situations around you, you now can maneuver in a way that is to your best interest. And your career is one person's responsibility. It's not your boss's responsibility. It's not the economy's responsibility. It's not your company's responsibility. Your career is your responsibility. No one is going to usher you through all the right moves unless you have a super awesome, highly knowledgeable, internationally known coach. I'll do what Blake Shelton does on The Voice. And I say that from a place of helping thousands of women through this process. Your problem is not the external world, even though it seems that way. It seems that way. I've never, ever come across a woman in over 10,000 complimentary career clarity calls that there wasn't a big dose of what she was doing in the wrong way. And look, it's not your fault. I'm not putting blame on you. What I'm saying is here's how to fix this problem. How to fix it is to get into your soul. That way you can come into a greater knowledge, understanding, and wisdom of what your role is supposed to be all about and communicating that, what your boss is all about and communicating that and maneuvering that properly, and what you're all about. I help women every single day, every single week, navigate things that they've gotten themselves into ruts or holes or situations that are really dire because they've let things go too long. As professional women, we tend to think that hard work and proving our worth through hard work will fix problems, and it doesn't. It doesn't fix problems. What fixes problems is you understanding yourself deeply. And then when we weave that in to great strategies about how to be more successful in your current job and or how to interview more effectively for who you are and what you bring to the table, it fixes everything. And then you have great tools. You have great personal understanding. And you know what happens then? People will treat you differently because you respect yourself. They're going to respect you. When you respect yourself, others will respect you in kind. Now, you may have to get out of situations where you don't have that going on because that other person may not agree with a new version of you where you're feeling awesome about yourself and you're feeling internally that you're self-respecting. So here's the lowdown on this topic for today. 3 reasons why you hate your job. Number 1, you misunderstand your role, and you're probably working over time over your role, helping others fill in the gaps, and you're hiding the real reason why the role isn't working. So misunderstanding your role is a huge part. And then the second reason is misunderstanding your boss. Your boss, their main focus is not just to focus on you. I know so many people think, well, my boss should know that. My boss should do that. My boss should help me. My boss should explain this. My boss should da-da-da-da. When you use the word should, you're in a victim mode. So misunderstanding your boss means that the two of you haven't communicated properly. And misunderstanding your boss is a really easy trap to get into because there's a lot of people in the world who have issues with authority and easily point the finger up. Well, it's their problem. You don't want to live that way. Trust me. All that gets you is negative energy, victim mode, and then you don't solve the problem because, again, you're blaming them. When you blame other people for anything in your life, you're missing the point. You're missing the point. And when we work together, you'll understand this on an even deeper level when you come into the truth about your soul and your personal essence. It's not fair when you receive less, you are able to give to others. If Elise, the only thing that's fair is taking responsibility and changing the situation. So what we want to help you do in this short segment is to understand and learn how the cloud of hating your job looks like blaming others, but it is really a cloud of not knowing yourself at a deep level. Why do you misunderstand your role? Why do you misunderstand your boss? Why do you misunderstand yourself? All of them boil down to a key component of living a happy, successful, and fulfilled life. That is knowing the self. As Shakespeare said, to thine own self be true. You can't navigate the world out there if you're not knowing the self. And I don't mean knowing the self like, well, this is just who I am. I'm an outspoken person, and that's just who I am. Who you are right now is a combination of of things that you've learned that you haven't made choices on. What you want to do is learn who you want to be coming from your soul, not from the external world of how you were trained to be you by your own frustrations, by what people said about you, by your own family of origin issues, by your experiences. So what is really true about life for all of us human beings is when we know ourself at the deep soul level, not just saying, well, I'm always going to be outspoken. I'm always this way. I'm never that way. That's the way that we throw out barriers to protect ourselves because we don't like feeling vulnerable. You know, yourself at your soul is a vulnerable being. And she needs certain things in order to feel safe. And when we put the barriers out of, I'm just this way, they're just always that way, bosses are always this way, when we blame others and we protect ourselves with our own personality traits, which is not your soul, by the way, your personality is not your soul. Your personality is a collection of learned behaviors that have turned into ongoing habits that have turned into what we call a personality. The aggregation of what you've learned to be has created what you have learned to do. I'm going to let that sink in. I'm going to let that sink in. So fixing the reasons, the top 3 reasons why you hate your job, all boils down to getting at your soul's truth. Getting at your soul's truth to be the woman in there who wants to grow. She wants to thrive. She wants to make a contribution. She wants to earn her worth. She wants to understand the world around her and navigate it more successfully. That's who we are at the soul level. We desire happiness and joy and growth. We desire being seen for our authenticity. We desire truth. Not mind or intellect, not ego. Those are not truth. Those are both false. Our truth is in our divine nature, which is our soul. That is at the root of every career we have ever fixed. The root of every human being who's not thriving is their soul. So I'll leave you with that. The 3 reasons why you hate your job. Excuse me. Is wound up in not feeling good enough about who you are at your soul level. If this is resonating with you, if you're a professional woman with education, expertise, and experience, and you want to pop up to the next level, you want to truly understand this and succeed, book your complimentary career clarity call with us at mofall.com/liveclarity. I have beautiful, wonderful career breakthrough strategists who work on my team, and we absolutely know how to help you get to your truth. We absolutely help you understand what you're losing by continuing to spin the wheels this way. Again, not in a blame game, but in an effort to help you leverage your career at a higher level. Just this week, we helped 3 women gain awesome, beautiful jobs, and several others started their new jobs that they gained several weeks ago. So bravo and shout out to all of you clients who you know who you are. And added that we have a woman who had a massive personal and physical obstacle 5 years ago that derailed her career, and she picked herself back up claimed herself, did the work in our workshop, really leaned in to understanding herself at the soul level, and then followed our strategies to absolutely weave her soul self and her power and her strength into a beautiful job that was a perfect fit for her, making $40,000 more a year. Let's say she works for another 15 years. That's $600,000 more in earnings. $600,000 more in earnings. That's a couple of college educations. That's a new house, a couple of cars. Over 15 years of her excelling at a new level, understanding her soul, understanding how to communicate properly with her boss, understanding how to communicate properly around her role. And in this role that she got, she's going to have to understand and communicate for the resources she's going to need to build this department she's been given responsibility to do. She has all of those tools now because she said yes to herself on a complimentary career clarity call, even though she was afraid. Even though she was like, but I have this, but this, but this. I said, look, if you're a professional woman with education, expertise, and experience, and you're not where you want to be, you're flushing money down the toilet, you're flushing self-respect down the toilet. Let's fix that. Let's fix that. It starts with a complimentary career clarity call, mofall.com/live clarity. And I want to also do a shout out to all of the wonderful women who have made comments on my new Facebook ad, which is a short video that I made. I live in a condo building in South Florida, and I made a reference to something in that video, and people are calling me out on it. But let me tell you this, it's true. Okay. So bravo to all those beautiful, in charge, focused, awesome women who tune in to my Coach Mo lives, who tune in to my podcast, who tune in to getting inspired. And I appreciate every single one of you. Some of you don't book your complimentary career clarity call until we've had years of a relationship that I don't even know about. But so many people who I've talked to over the past couple of months on complimentary career clarity calls have said they've been following me for years. So don't wait for years to fix this problem. Ladies, step up to the plate and own your soul. And let's fix the misunderstandings with the role. Let's fix the misunderstandings with your boss. Let's fix, for once and for all, the misunderstandings at your soul. Let's fix that. Evilise, you don't have to meet me at my Florida office. You don't have to meet me personally to do the work and to change your life forever. All of my work is 100% virtual. All of what we do to help women lift their souls and lift their careers, we do the same way we're doing this. And it's an awesome experience for our clients, and it's very fulfilling for us. I had a 30-plus year career getting through all of these obstacles, learning how to do it the hard way. I've condensed my 30-year learning into 12 weeks. 12 weeks. We're going to solve your soul issues, and we're going to pour it into your career strategy so that you can rise up. You can be more fulfilled, more successful, and you're going to start navigating your power in a way that it was meant to be originally. But so many of us human beings got sideways with a lot of things that happen along life. I would love to help you change your career forever and lift your soul. That's going to be so meaningful for the rest of your life and the next generation after you. If you're a working mom, that's a really big impact to make. mofall.com/live clarity, and we'll get things rocking and rolling in the right direction. Evilise, you need to book a complimentary clarity call, and let's get things moving in the right direction and moving away of your power and the outcome in the world that you want to have for yourself and your family and your future. This is career coach Mo Fall. Coach Mo Live. mofall.com/live clarity is where it all begins. We'll see you next time. This is Coach Mo. Catch me everywhere on social media at Coach Mo Fall or mofall.com/live clarity to book your complimentary career clarity call. That's how it starts. That's how we lift your soul and your career. Boom. We'll see you next time. Coach Mo. Blessings for your day.